There I am. Like that. Okay, there we go. It's good, isn't it? Turn that off. That was magical, wasn't it? Well. Oh, how's my hair looking? Oh, fuck, it's fucked. It's fucked, man. It's terrible. Anyway, that's fine. I'm not going to be long. I've still got quite a bit of work to do. Well, loads of work to do. How is everyone? Good. I can't see any comments. I can't see anything. So I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. But we're going live all over the place. So this is the most I've ever been live in any one place ever. So bear with me while we've got some shit to go through, right? Some proper shit. So like literally, let me turn that off because that's doing my head in. Right, literally, I just found out, right? There's more to life than one would normally think, right? But this is bad. It's gone missing. Was Sean, whatever her name is, Gossing? I don't know her, but that's quite scary. She was like a truth person. When she was like one of the people that told the truth, or whatever, But then she also businesses and that, from what I know. So that's a bit scary, So I hope she's okay, and I hope she's well, because I wouldn't wish poorly on anyone, man. And I think that's quite deep, man. That's quite deep. So that's Sharon. Is it Sharon? Sean Gissin, man. Sean Gissin, if you're alive and well, hopefully you are. And if you're not, then obviously we wouldn't know, would we? Because you're not alive. But I'm hoping you are. I'm hoping you will be, because I wouldn't wish anything bad on anyone. So look, fingers crossed for you. I hope that you are okay. Now with that in mind, we're going to go to what would you call it? What are we going to be doing this evening? Well, I put it down notes somewhere, but I fucking forgotten. We're going to talk about how adhesive things are not adhesive. So, for example, right? Hello, Sharon. For example, right? If you're venting, right? If you're venting somewhere, you are not allowed to make changes, right? So I've got to find things like stuff we're not allowed to drill holes in. We're not drill holes. So adhesive things, stickiness, they're not really that sticky. They are not that sticky at all. In fact, the amount of times things fall down and fall off, it's pointless. Absolutely pointless, yeah? So literally, don't buy it unless anyone can point out anything that's not super glue, like this is my first little moan, right? Anything that's like it's meant to be super magic, thick, stick, really strong. You're talking like an alien. Oh no. Oh no, that's not good. Maybe it's just your phone, no? You can't be doing alien talk. You can't be doing alien sounds. That's not good. That's not good. Well, how do I make that better then? Was it because I was talking about shit? Like, is it because I was talking about it? Is that working now? What? I don't know. Is that working now? What? Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's working for me. So it must be your phone there. Why don't you log off and log back in again? Evening to the person that says evening. It's fine now. Good. It's fine. When I went, I can't. Oh, there you go. These little things sort my life. Right, so yeah, I've got a story, right, as well. Another one. Before we got into the serious stuff about family law and shit, right? DWP, right? DWP, right? We love them. But I went and done a fucking totally brilliant thing this last week, right? And I've been waiting to do a live to actually tell people about it, right? Now, obviously, I give away stuff, and I've been getting told off by the government for giving away too much and me not being a business. I'm not a charity, I'm a business, right? So they want profit, right? So obviously they want profit, so blah, blah, blah. I have, they're all too scared. I've still, for another week has gone by, I've still not met the person that I'm supposed to be meeting for my work coach or whoever you want to call yourself, whatever he is, she is, whatever, the work coach, right? If you don't, they're making me go all over the place. They're making me go everywhere for this work coach. I go everywhere. This work coach doesn't turn up. This last week, Monday, I went there. No one's not there again, right? No one wants to serve me. I don't know why. I think they think I'm rude, but I'm not rude. I'm not actually rude at all. I'm just direct, very direct. And ultimately, I ended up buying a box of chocolates and a thank you card. I know, right? I know. You're all like, what the fuck happened there? She wasn't fit either. She wasn't even fit. She was not fit in the slightest. Yeah. In fact, I wouldn't have done anything. I mean, that wasn't even my type. She wasn't even my type. Yeah. Well, my friend was, well, the job center crew, they don't like me because obviously I'm a bit gobshite and a bit like that. So they literally, they don't want to serve me. So I'm buying this, they're moaning at me for spending too much money. The ironic thing is, right, the irony in this is unbelievable. I went out and bought and spent money on a box of chocolates and a card, 2 items that cost £10, just under £10. They weren't complaining about the fact that I was spending money on them. No, they weren't Dairy Milk. No, they were not Thorntons. They were them balls of chocolate, big balls of chocolate, chocolate salty balls, chocolate balls. Lint, something like that, yeah. So I think that's what it was. They're expensive. They were expensive enough. Well, they're not really expensive, actually, to be honest with you. I got them from WH Smith. That's why they were expensive. Because I got them from WH Smith. Other than that, you know, wouldn't normally be expensive. But then trying to find in Dartford somewhere that sells flowers, and I was going to buy some flowers, but I didn't do it. But then I went back to DWP. I went back in there, and I went into the job centre. I went there, and I was like, I just waited, and I waited, and I went to the security guard, and I said, can I just go give this box of chocolates and a card to her upstairs? And he was like, oh, wait. So I waited for 20 minutes. I waited 20 minutes to give them this stuff, right? 20 minutes. I did that. And boy, those women in that office, they went crazy. They went mental. They were like, oh, isn't he so sweet? Isn't he so cute? Oh, look at that. So now, of course, I did say when I went in and gave them the bird the chocolate and the cards, I did say specifically I would not be expensing that. But I will expense it anyway because the receipts in there with everything else. So it's just how it is. Yeah, it wasn't. It was. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. I will be. I was hoping to bribe them. Trust me. They weren't expecting. They were not expecting flowers or chocolate. They were not expecting at all. But then it's about killing people with kindness, giving love when no one else will. And they've obviously had a shit day. They were used to me being a bit rude and a bit. So they wanted to they were surprised by the fact that I was nice and calm and always, as always. But normally it's the men that serve me. They really piss me off. So I'm just like, no. So that was that. That's DWP story. Stickiness. Things are not sticky. Yeah, it's like stickiness, sellotape. Whatever you do to stick things on things, right? So for example, yeah, I'm like that there, right? That there, right? That's fallen down like 3 times so far today. And I bought these super adhesive like hooks, right? Oh fuck! These super adhesive hooks, and it still falls down. And I've got the same shit over there with the curtain. Net curtain still falls down. Now, I'm not one for doing DIY and that sort of stuff. Too kind and gobby. Whoa. I'm not gobby. I just talk too much. She did say to me, she told me off, right? She said, because I talk too much, which is why I'm quite good at this, right? Talking with no one when there's no one in the room, because I'm nervous now doing this. I don't know why, but I am, right? So you can come and sort it out. Yeah, you can. But I get nervous. When I get nervous, I speak, and I speak too fast, and I speak too. And it wasn't just I was speaking to one person in the thing in front of me. She was the people who sat around her. They had people darted around the office listening to what I was saying because she was looking over my head. I was playing dumb. I didn't even notice. She was looking over my head, looking at the person behind me. She said, "Do you really have to go to Manchester?" Yeah, of course I do. Why? Well, because I was taking the piss. Yes. Absolutely, I was. I fucking spent a ridiculous amount of money, £15,000 apparently, over budget or whatever they normally give away. But I didn't break any rules. They tried saying, they've seen from my receipts, they've gone for everything. Now they understand that what I've done is I've just been like Robin Hood. Yeah, I've been getting from the government for myself, and then making sure that my expenses are so high that I have to don't make sure. I can't say make sure this isn't live. I accidentally on purpose make sure my expenses accidentally on purpose are too much, and now they want me to make sure that I'm not spending as much, which means not giving as much away. And that's all I was doing, is giving shit away because it's nice, yeah, and because I could. So they've not told me off for it yet. They're investigating it still. We'll see what happens with that. I think it would be funny because ultimately, I'm not doing anything wrong. They've told me what I'm going to have to expense. I've expensed it, marketing, I've done it all. But I just went to town on everything. And so I've got to cut it all back. But you can't do that. There are limits you can't claim. I know, right? I know. Yeah, that's what they've told me now. Chat, look, please don't tell me off. I've been told off every time I go into this, and that's why I'm trying to turn them around now. That's why I'm trying to turn the opinions of the lovely staff in Dartford Job Centre, trying to turn that around. Yeah, but the thing is, the beautiful thing is about this, right? The beautiful thing about this, right? What about the Parker? What about the Parker? That's uniform, right? That's uniform. And that's what I had to say to them as well, because they did ask me about the clothing, and I just said it's uniform. But then they said, could you not buy anything cheaper? And I said, it's uniform. You can't change the price of uniform, especially when it's that quality. You pay for quality. Not only that, traveling to Manchester, taxis, Ubers, everything is, they've all just gone like, you've got to cut back big time. So I have like even Just Eats, man, I wasn't allowed to do that either. So there's a few bits that I've obviously messed around on, and the government aren't really too happy with me, that's for sure. Let's just say that. But the funniest thing is, I've been asking for help and no one's helped me, and I can evidence I've asked for help and no one helped me. So I just took full fucking advantage of the fact that no one wanted to help me. It's not my fault. I just took my fault. It's not my fault. So there's that. And then, so that's the update on DWP. Bless them over there. The DWP, they're in Dartford, but they're soon to be my favourite job centre out of Gravesend, Dartford, Bromley, Watford. That's about it, really. That's the only ones I visited. I don't really want to be visiting too many more because, let's be honest, they're not the greatest of places. It's not like I'm going to meet my future wife there, is it? Let's be honest. I'm not going to meet my future wife there at all. Fuck it. I'm not going to meet my future wife at all ever because, let's be honest, I'm never buying. I'm never getting a wife again. I'm never going to get married again. Uniform. HMRC only allows so much a year. You're paying an accountant. He should be. My accountant has gone a bit quiet. Funny enough, I've called him and I sent him a couple of emails, and he hasn't come back to me. I don't know what's going on there, but it's on my to-do list to call. Maybe maybe send an email and CC you in so you can do that stuff for me. That's what the plan was. That's what we need to do. That's what we shall do. Action. Let me write that action down. We will do that. Oh, yeah, look, I'm supporting my little look, just so you can see my parental alienation thing. Okay, can you do that? Yeah. Good. There you go. I know it's uniform. Yeah, you go. Look, I wish I never said anything now. I really do wish I never said anything, but it's done now. It's said. It's out there. And that is what it is. So let's next topic, love. We're not talking about that right now. Dirty fries. Yeah. If you go into Co-op next, or if you're lucky, like if you order your food from Amazon, like I do, because I don't like shopping, so I order my food from Amazon, but it doesn't actually come from Amazon. It comes from Co-op or Morrison's, right? If you order your food from you don't need a future wife. Tell him. Well. Hang on a minute. Whoa. Tell it. Look, I have purposely taken the piss. Right? I'm conscious of that because no one was helping me, and that's why they can't tell me off. Nagging mother. Yeah. Morrison's or Co-op. No, we're going with Co-op. Right? Co-op do dirty fries crisps. Right? They're in a blue bag. Oh my God, they are the best crisps in the world ever. If you're next going to go up, just go ask them for dirty fries. Ask them for the dirty fries crisps, and then see how that goes. Bless you, Jason. You're talking to an ex-DWP work coach. Feel for you, man. I really do. I would hate to work for that company. I'd hate to work for anyone to do with the government, to be honest with you. Just because it's the government shit, and they don't have any personalities. Who is that? Because I would be quite intrigued to see if you've got a personality. Oh my God, it's you, Dan. No, it's not you, Dan. Right, fine. Who's the work coach then? Oh my God, it's you, Dan. No. I can't. Who's the old work coach? But I'll tell you what, if you've got a personality and I'm talking to you, well, I still can't see you are a Facebook user, but tell me who you are. Like, I'm intrigued by that. I'm glad my secret is safe with you and the rest of the people that I'm putting it out to. And so there's about 4,000 or 5,000 people by the end of the podcast and everything that'll go out. About 4,000 people. Right, back to the family law. Right, back to the family law. Yes. Right, back to family law. Right. So, if and when and should you? It's Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. You've got a personality as well. At least I know Dawn, the secret's safe with you, Dawn. I know that. I know because you're quite safe, man. You're quite safe. You're very safe. You're sound as a pound. Yeah, I trust you, Dawn. But anyway, back to family law, right? So this week's thing is about making an application to court. So many people at the moment are making applications to court. They're separating from their partners. And they're making applications to court. And then suddenly, from out of nowhere, you get hit with a non-molestation order. Let me think why that could be. And that could be for a number of reasons. Non-molestation orders are there to protect people, children, and abused people. And we don't think abuse is anything to be laughing about or joking about at all, because it's not. But in some areas and some locations, and some people are worse than others, when these people are putting applications in for child arrangements, you're then getting hit with a non-molestation order, which let's be honest, if people were as bad as what they're being made out to be, and don't get me wrong, every single relationship has got an element of domestic abuse within it. There's a healthy amount and there's an unhealthy, toxic amount. I can speak from experience from my own personal relationship with my ex-wife. That was unhealthy and it was toxic, 100%. So, but then there's others. When you're getting dragged around shopping, again, I've said this every week. When you're getting dragged around shopping, that's abuse, because you're being coercively controlled to go shopping. You don't want to go shopping. I'm being coercively controlled. When all this stuff that when you go through separation, when you go through the family courts, it all gets thrown back on you. So, for example, hypothetically speaking, you said to your missus, "Oh, your bum looks big," in that. 11 years later, she might bring it up and say that you were the reason why she's obese, because you said her bum looked big in that. You might be having the best sex life of your life right now and be doing all sorts of stuff in your sex life. She might throw that back down on you in the years to come and say, nope, I wasn't happy with that. That's abuse. And that's generally what's happening. That's generally what goes on, because people have to think about what's important in their relationships, the way the relationship is now versus what it was before, and what was acceptable before, when you had a loving relationship, when you were communicating, when you were having sex, when you were doing all that great stuff that were there. Window dressing. You are literally going to get everything thrown back at you. So you now have to live your relationship. If I ever get into a relationship again, this is how I'll be living my relationship. Sex will be non-existent, because I don't want to get accused of fucking forcing myself onto anyone. Not that I have done, but when you go through this shit in the family courts, at least that way you can also make sure you don't get any more children. That's good. So no more sex if you're in a relationship. No sex in case you get accused of forcing yourself on them. Can't be sarcastic in case you get told that you're being abusive. Can't take them out, ask them to do anything they don't want to do. As soon as they say they don't want to do it, you have to accept they don't want to do it and move on. So literally, these things these are restricting your relationships. And if you're doing all this stuff and you're having great sex and you're dragging your ex-missus or your missus out shopping and she's dragging you out shopping, just know, I hope you never split up. I really do hope you never split up. But if you do, everything that's happening today will be used against you in the family court. Because what was once acceptable is, don't get me wrong, rape is never acceptable. Don't get me wrong, sleeping with someone when they're asleep is never acceptable. Yeah, there's stuff like that that's wrong. Yeah, and I support anyone who's experienced that sort of shit, and I get it. That's wrong. And I'm not minimizing, I'm not downplaying how abuse is bad, right? But when you know that you put in that child application form and child application in, and then suddenly from out of nowhere you get hit with a non-molestation order, 90% of the time it's going to be because that non-molestation order has been hit to frustrate the child arrangements hearing. Ultimately, it's to slow that down, to delay the child arrangements. So what you do in that situation is, generally as a rule of thumb, it's going to be emotional and psychological. Sometimes when the woman's really psycho, it can go to a lot more serious stuff. But the way if you've got physical and sexual allegations against you, the likelihood of that being that working with what I'm about to say is non-existent. If you have a physical or sexual allegation put against you, the likelihood of you seeing your children unsupervised is very slim. Yeah, if you have physical, it's still a slight chance, but the allegations will have to be ironed out fully first of all. That's the one thing. If it's emotional and psychological, right, then you will be able to you'll be able to potentially negotiate and navigate your way through to getting contact, supported or unsupported. That's it. So park that there for a second. If you've got an emotional and psychological allegations against you from non-molestation and you've got a child arrangements allocation through, your natural step is to defend. I didn't do that, didn't do that. You didn't do it, fine, you didn't do it. Don't fight it, because you're going to prolong the inevitable. You're going to prolong the child arrangement stuff. You fight it and dispute it. You have to go through the whole non-molestation case, and then you come to the child arrangement stuff. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you are asking for an undertaking with no findings, and asking to combine the non-molestation hearing with child arrangements hearing. We're all not the same. I am limiting. Right. I'll come down in a minute. You have the non-molestation and combine that with the child arrangements. You have to combine them too. You take an undertaking with no findings on the basis that the allegations that are put against you will be heard later on in the child arrangements here anyway. And you take an undertaking with no findings because you don't want to see the fucking ex-partner anyway, because they'll fucking do your head in. And if you do want to see your ex-partner still, then you deserve the non-molestation order, because you shouldn't be wanting to see your ex. You should be wanting to get as far away from them as possible, unless it's to communicate with the welfare of the child, in which case it would cushy magical. That's that. Yeah, so undertaking with no findings, if you have got emotional or psychological allegations against you, and trying to combine that with the child arrangements order. Don't forget, this is all judge specific. Yeah, this doesn't work every single time. Sometimes when you take an undertaking, the other side won't accept it. They won't accept the undertaking. Sometimes the judge won't accept the undertaking. Depends. Every single situation is different, and you have to read it in its own, take it for its own merit and whatnot. But that's the most, that's really important. Where possible, take an undertaking with no findings, and that will hopefully speed the process up a little bit, because the term you want to use is called frustrating the process. The other party is frustrating the process, and then the court will know what you mean, and the judge will know what you mean, and then either take note from it or not. So as the case might be. Now that's that. Let me think of anything else. What else is going on in the world? If you ever, this is what we're going to talk about later. Not later today, but later. Family law reform is the process. The process is taken. It's what takes the piss. Yeah. If you get everything done, every single court hearing, you could probably muster into like less than a week, right? If you did every single court hearing that you have for your case, you get muster into less than a week. You probably muster into 2 days, 3 days. The equivalent of the criminal stuff. That family law, no one's talking about family law reform anymore, because all these little groups that were together are now not together anymore. Oh, we are not all the same. I've only good to say about my two exes. I was very lucky in my choice of men. I've only good to say for my ex-wife. My ex-wife was actually quite alright, until she went not alright, and then I think it was when she started seeing someone else. I think that's when she really changed. I think when I sobered up and I stopped taking cocaine, that's when I really noticed the difference, because you could see what we were both like, and that's not necessarily a dig at her. What we were both like on the shit, and when you're off it and you see someone else on it, you're like, whoa, that's a bit ooh. And it's when she found a new boyfriend, that's when she really went distant on me. But other than that, I'm not in the habit of saying anything bad about I said loads of stuff bad about her, but ultimately, I'm in defense of myself. But I'm not going to speak about. Don't want to speak about her. No, I don't want to speak about her. Me too. Only one son. The first hubby was brilliant. Oh, lovely. Look, your first ex-husband was brilliant. That's brilliant. Lovely. And you're very lucky in your choice of men. Good. That's because you've got sensible. You've probably been brought up very well. And your parents taught you how to look out for these things. And you probably saw all these red flags. That's going to come into a minute. Red flags. We all grow up and become wiser people. Yes, we do, apparently. I'm still waiting for that to happen to me. I'm still waiting to grow up. I'm still 19. And I'm wiser. Yes, I am. I'm still wiser. All the errors that have happened in errors I've made in the past have turned me into a wise man or teenager, because I'm 19 still. Don't forget. Now that's the family law bit. Yes, that's the middle part. That's the family law part. If you are going through family courts, remember, start as you mean to go on. Rule number 1: start as you mean to go on. Be honest. Be open. Be frank. Be direct. Be whatever you want to be. Be you. Is more importantly, be you. But be honest. The most important thing is be honest, even if it means taking responsibility for doing things that you regret, because you're a human being and you made a fucking mistake. Be honest. That's one thing. Definitely be honest. Yeah. So now moving on to my next. Went fat, so I fell up. What? Went fat, so I fell. Put off. love after 7 years, but left on them. Honestly, it's definitely the best policy. Went fat? Who went fat? You're so not fat, Sharon. It's not. I don't understand. You're not fat. I'm not about to talk about fat either because I don't. It's fat shaming or something. I don't want to get told off by the generation, whatever Z they are, whatever they fucking call themselves, getting told fat shaming. But yeah, we're not going to talk about that. So yeah. So ultimately, if you were fat, I'd love to see some photos. Actually, Sharon, if you're talking about you, my your ex-husband. Oh, he went fat. Okay, then that's a bit harsh. Your ex-husband fat. Okay. Well, if he's fat, he's fat. That's fine. But ultimately, next point. Trust. How do we ever? And there's many men here. There's many men on the Father's Wives group. There's many men there who will never ever trust again, ever. How do we do that? How do we combat this? How do we get over this fucking bit of shit that we've been hurt so much that we don't trust any relationship? How am I ever going to get into a relationship again if I can't even fucking have sex? I'm never going to wank for the rest of my life. I mean, come on now. I can't have sex with another woman ever if I'm going to get in a relationship with her because she might throw it back in my face. I didn't want sex with her that day. What? We'd have to get them to sign a prenup, or we have to get them to sign a document. You get to sign a document. You're not going to moan about this, and this, and this. If we separate, you've agreed to do this, and this. This is all agreed. Exactly. This is all agreed to do, and it's impossible to do. But then, I don't know. So we're still at loggerheads with there. We're still lost with that one. Yeah, we're still lost with. Still don't know how to get back into trust again. So the men are struggling with that. We are all struggling. We don't have the answer. Anyone wants to give us the answer on that or give us a suggestion, please do feel free. That's that one. Now, I think that's it, really. I think that's it for this week. It's short and sweet because I've got lots of work to do. Plus, I've seen something pop up on my phone that I need to deal with. So that's going to be short and sweet, 30 minutes. Because I think 30 minutes is good enough, isn't it? 30 minutes is good enough. Plus, I'm doing Twitch as well. I want to see what's going on there. So look, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for watching 30 minutes of my life that you're never going to get back. But, you could have been watching porn. You could have been watching fucking Blockbuster. You could remember that, Blockbuster. I'll have a B, please, Bob. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? A D, please, Bob. No, it was 18. Yeah. So look, we're going to go there. And if anyone does find this Sian Gosling, down, wherever she might be, maybe the police have got her. Maybe if she's a truther, maybe the police have taken her and they're saying they don't know where she is. Maybe the government have got her. The government have got her and they've locked her in the underground. See, if she'd have mingled with me, right? Well, she'd have mingled with me. I'd have probably been gone with her. Probably gone as well. But yeah, so I'm glad she didn't. Anyway, I'm going to go because it's definitely 30 minutes. And is it 30 minutes? I think it is. I can't see the clock. But if anyone sees that Sian Gosling, I think that's her name, Sian Gosling, please do call 999. MI5 have got her as MI5 got her as I'll be the QC. Oh wow. Oh, I'll be damned. I'm gonna go because my phone's going, and that's definitely 30 minutes. I will give you a call and I'll speak to you soon. Peace and love. Lyra's glove. In and out. Shake it all about. But make sure you get a piece of paper to sign first of all.